everybody, and welcome to the Elite Dangerous live stream. This is part 3 and the final part of our Beyond, well, for chapter 1 anyway, the Beyond series, the Beyond season. We're going to be going into details all about, these last 3 episodes, we'll be going into details about the Beyond chapter 1 update, which is going into beta on Thursday. I've been joined by a very flamboyant man in a hat. And what material do you call it? Is this suede?
It's velour or velvet, isn't
velour.
it? I don't know. It's quite soft and furry.
Yes, it's
I like
very
it.
nice. Kind of also. But anyway, hi. Hope you're all well. How have you been? What have you been up to? I saw you guys on Thursday, and I saw you on Tuesday as well. Sandy, you were here last week.
I was.
We've covered quite a lot of information these last few days. We've covered
awful lot
in the first
well
part.
done for the ghosts.
Oh, look up for the ghosts already. That's the tick your bingo
Yeah,
sheets.
boy.
Tick your bingo sheets again. It's very exciting.
Hot build.
It's a hot build. All right. Now that we've got all that stuff out of the way, let's get on. So basically, we have. I'm just going to turn our microphones up just a tad because apparently we're coming a little quietly.
Me quiet.
Oh, I know, right? It's madness. Madness. Hopefully that slight adjustment there will have improved things somewhat. So, everyone calm down in the chat. Everyone calm down. So tonight, well, first of all, let's cover a little bit about what the Beyond season is. For those who don't know, I think most of the people watching the chat or watching this stream probably do have a good idea of what the Beyond season's all about. But, Sandy, what is it? Why are we doing this?
What are we doing? I don't know.
Why are we doing
I've been
this?
told, no, the reason that we're doing the Bond series of updates is so that we can address some of the core functionality of the game. We all love the game, we think it's brilliant, but it's a live game, it's an evolving game, and on occasion we get a chance to go back and look at some of the core fundamentals and say, oh, can we improve them? Can we make them even better? Can we address some niggling issues that have been hanging around? And so it's really cool, right? It's really cool that the bosses allow us to do this and that you guys support us so that we can do this. Yeah. So it's a little way for us to kind of try and give back and say, you know, we've got faith in this game, we're sticking at it, we think it's pretty damn excellent. So we get to look at those core features, and one we'll be talking about tonight, and see if we can't just make them that bit better.
Fantastic stuff. Yeah, excellent. And I think so far what we've shown off, we showed off in the first one on Tuesday last week, changes coming to crime and punishment, and we also showed about wing missions as well. Then on Thursday's stream we showed off the chieftain with some planetary visual improvements, trade data improvements. We went through the tech broker, and we also showed off the interactions that you can have with the megaships as well. It was very exciting stuff. It's so exciting. I'm so excited that I get to show off the work from the lovely developers. That was another one on the
lovely developers. We love them. Lovely developers.
Put that down. A little stamp.
Loach.
Get your little stamps out. Is that one as well, Space Loach?
Yeah, I believe it might have been. I don't know.
Someone's got a full house by this point. So, hi. And tonight we're going to be going through engineers, the changes coming to engineers.
Yeah.
We're going to talk about the material trader, and we're going to be demonstrating Galnet Audio as
little bits and bobs along the way.
Little bits and bobs. Remember, all of this is coming into one update, which is Chapter 1, which is just the first of the updates in Beyond. How exciting.
Yeah.
That means there's lots of...
Pretty terrifying, but pretty cool.
I said exciting genuinely there. I wasn't even trying to do the bingo exciting. So, tonight, in all seriousness as well, before we do begin the demonstration, I do want to say this, even unironically completely, this is very much a hot build live stream. Hot build. Oh, my fingers are trying to just control... it singes them. What's that? Can you smell burning skin?
That's just hot build.
That's just hot build. Hot build. By hot build, I mean that things could fall apart. This is alpha, because the beta goes live on the Thursday. Yes. There are still some changes to go in before the beta goes live. I think the dev team work very much up to the wire.
Right up to the wire. It's also worth pointing out as well that some of the numbers, any numbers that you see, sometimes they're pretty good guesses. Sometimes they're going to change all over the place. So during beta, you might see some numbers change for the amount of time things take to do, or the amount of cost for certain activities. So take the numbers with a pinch of salt. Today, what we're talking about is very much the process and the ethos behind why we're changing it.
So keep that in mind. If we do have to do some behind the scenes tomfoolery and make some changes and do some DevTool stuff, please forgive us. And also if the game crashes. Please forgive us too.
Please.
But it won't though.
Please forgive us.
All right. So why don't we, well, just bring up the game first of all. And yeah, Sandy, why
Look at
don't we
that,
start?
in your chieftain.
In the Chieftain, of course.
Chieftain, because it's a lovely ship, the Chieftain.
Yeah, absolutely. So we thought we'd just do it in the Chieftain, why not?
Yeah, why not?
Do the stream in the Chieftain.
Even though it's a warship, it can do other things as well.
It can do whatever it wants. Blaze your own trail, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah.
All right, Sandy, take it away.
Okay, so first of all, engineering. What is it? Just a very brief overview. Dotted around the galaxy, there are these kind of quite an eclectic mix of really clever engineers. You can take your ship to them. You can get your modules on your ship upgraded. Each engineer will be able to upgrade different types of modules, and these upgrades they're pretty significant benefits they give you, yeah? And they effectively also allow you to customise and personalise your ship to your taste. So the ships can be kind of different from each other, even though they've ostensibly got the same loadouts and they're the same vessel. Mm-hmm. So it's really cool, and we want more people. We want everyone to do it. Really, it's just a fun thing to do. You pay for these upgrades by collecting materials for the engineers, dotted around from various different activities. So that's fundamentally what engineering is. So why are we changing it? Well, we like it, but and again, I'm always saying this every time. Love the feedback. Keep it coming. Stay passionate.
Put that into airplane mode for you.
Yeah.
It can interrupt the signal.
I will do that. My bad. So
Sandy's being naughty. I'm going to check mine now as well.
Yeah, that's done now. Okay, so always saying thank you for the feedback, and a lot of the feedback that we've had for engineering, a few key points kept coming out. Okay, so one of them was there were just too many areas where chance could come into play. Mm-hmm. So chance, randomness, in of itself isn't necessarily a bad thing. I think we should all really agree on this, right? It can be fun, but the feedback we were getting was there was just a little bit too much of it in different aspects of engineering. So we're going to be looking at that. And the other one was, and it was obviously it's all connected with chance and other things, is that progression wasn't absolutely straightforward. You could kind of get stuck through no fault of your own, not making any kind of real progress. And we don't want to waste your time. Your time is valuable, so we want to make sure that if you're playing the game, you're achieving, you are always working towards what goal it is you're trying to achieve. So that's the principle of it, and all of the changes are really to support that. That is what we're doing. So in engineering, we're going to make sure that there is always a clear sense of progression. You're always making progress. There's no backwards movement, and more of the choices are under your control. So we happen to be, for the purposes of this little show, at Todd the Blaster McQuinn.
That's right.
Who is one of the engineers. And I know...
So just a reminder, remember, this is, for the purposes of the demonstration, there may be a couple of shortcuts that we get.
Yeah, we might just do a bit of chicanery.
Yes, chicanery.
But that's just, to make sure that we can all fit it in.
Okay.
So Todd the Blaster McQuinn, I know for a fact that he does multi-cannons. And I believe you've got a multi-cannon on your Chieftain.
Glad that you said that.
So why don't we go and have a look at the workshop. So as with all of the other changes to core processes, a lot of the stuff's going to look in some ways very similar. We don't want to chuck out the baby with the bathwater, so we're only making changes where we think we can get high impact from them in a positive way. So a lot of the stuff should be familiar. There's still reputation with engineers. You still unlock them in the same way. You still have to kind of become aware of them, get invitations, perform kind of tasks to gain their trust, and you still gain reputation with engineers that unlocks the various grades of upgrades that they give you by crafting and, in certain cases, delivering goods for them or handing in bounties. Different engineers have a couple of different ways sometimes of getting reputation with them. That stuff hasn't changed, so that is the same. So why don't we go into the engineers' workshop? Why don't we see what Todd's got to offer, and let's check out our multi-cannons. Just pick one of them, doesn't really matter which one. So now you see the screen probably looks a little bit different to those who are aware of engineering, but it's hopefully quite clear. So at the top left, you've got your current reputation rank with with Todd, the engineer. That's going to determine at one level what the maximum upgrades that you can apply are. So we're rank 2, so we could get to rank 2. But obviously you need to... so one of the first changes is that you can't just jump straight to the top rank that you've unlocked. Each module, you have to progress through rank 1 all the way to rank 5. The reason for this is that it creates a nice, clear sense of progression. And it makes it very easy for the numbers to work. And it's just a sensible way of doing things. You're going to see that thanks to the way that we now do the underlying mechanics and algorithms, it doesn't mean to say it's going to take an awful long time. Okay, in general, progress is significantly faster now. So on the left, you've got your various different upgrade choices. They're going to be very familiar to everyone because they haven't changed. And you've got the 5 ranks, and you can see they're all kind of locked off. In the middle, where you can see the modifications, it's again should look very similar. You've got the penalties in red, the potential benefits in blue, and then you've got the costs. So why don't we go down to, say, overcharge? Oh, we're on overcharge, that's great. So overcharge is a great way of getting more damage. So same thing, you've got the resources, it's one material, 1 nickel. So why don't we just go ahead and...
I like this, the available attempts 5.
It's telling you how many you've got, yeah, absolutely. So let's just generate one. So here it's going to show us, actually wait there a second, so this is really interesting. The benefits you get, there is chance in how much you get per time you perform a craft, an upgrade. But the penalties, again, to remove the randomness, to make sure that you are always moving forwards, they're flat per grade. So any penalties, and obviously different upgrades have different offsetting penalties, but they're always flat. You pay them once the first time you apply them. After that, it doesn't get any worse. So again, upfront and visible, you know what the costs are going to be.
It even says that before.
It is actually, yeah, it says it there before.
You're always going to get a benefit to the things that you're benefiting, but but they are... the amount that it does is not random, but it's always going to improve.
It's always there's random in it, but it's always going up. You can never go. There's no more going backwards, no more going down.
Negative ones are flat.
They're flat. You pay them once.
On there. Again, the numbers may change outside of beta or through beta.
Okay, so let's just go ahead and do it. Let's just get going on this, right? So you can see the first roll, pretty powerful. It's got almost halfway through in one go. Nice. Actually, if you look at where it says overcharged weapon in the left-hand panel, you'll see there's a bar filling up. That's just showing you how close you are to effectively completing this grade before you can move on to the next one. And you can see now that the penalties have turned orange because they're not going to get any worse. They just happen to be what those numbers are going to be set to now.
So they're set at the penalty for the weapon forever.
Absolutely. So it's worth going into a little bit more detail, just a tiny bit, what these numbers mean in the upgrade, in the blue discs. So the top number, which is in orange, is what the current value is. The big, large number in the middle is the maximum this particular grade will give you. So when you get to 100% of it, when you completed it fully, that's the maximum benefit you'll get from it. And then the bottom number, the small percentage, that's just telling you the percent increase you've got over the base item. So it's nice and clear, it's nice and clean. The disc, the dotted lines around the edge, that just shows your percentage from 0 to 100% of completing this grade. And then the orange bar that fills in is how far you're actually getting. So hopefully it's nice and clean, right? That's the main thing. It's nice and straightforward. It's just going to go up. And each time you do the craft, it's just going to get better. So now we've done that, we might as well have a quick look at the experimental effects. So in the past, these have been things that could randomly be applied as part of the process, but also you could pay engineer reputation to get them, which would set you back. We don't want to do that anymore. So instead, we've just decided to allow you to purchase them. They've got a material cost. Their material costs are, generally speaking, a little bit higher because you tend to only buy them once or a small number of times. We've got loads to choose from. It's also worth noting that actually, if you scroll down this list, you've got scroll up the list. You might see a few new ones in there as well. So the weapons have always had experimental effects. Now pretty much all modules are going to end up with experimental effect packages. The reason for that is that people that engineer will have noticed that there's been no talk about secondary effects anymore. Secondary effects were effectively these hidden modifiers that could come into play at the end of a craft, at the end time you make a craft. Although they're kind of cool and they did add a lot of variety, they were one of the main causes of why you couldn't progress when you're trying to engineer a module, because you would do your craft and then at the end you get the hidden modifiers that would come along and they'd be negative and they'd just push you back, or you would never make any progress. So instead we've dragged out all of the interesting ones from those buckets of secondary effects and packaged them up into discrete packages. So again, it's about player choice. You choose the final kind of customization of what a module is going to be.
It's cool.
So it's pretty cool. You know, it's a way of retaining some of the variation but putting it in your hands. Assuming that the system goes well, it's also very easy to add more packages because they're nice and discrete things. They're all up front. You can just see them straight away.
Yeah. So should I go and purchase one?
Yeah, so we're going to choose Smart Rounds. It's worth noting, actually, as a side note, Smart Rounds is really great and not enough people use it. The people that are worried about getting bounties for accidentally having friendly fire by hitting police ships or other ships whilst they're going after targets, if you have the Smart Rounds experimental effect, your bullets will always, they're duds whenever they hit any ship that isn't your target, so you can't ever get any bounties or any crimes there. So it's, you ought to maybe have a think about getting that applied.
Oh, I purchased it.
And he's got it. If you're doing bounty hunting, because it will save you a lot of trouble. You'll never get any bounties.
This whole thing, engineering,
yeah,
and the way that the changes have gone in, I think it's kind of important to point out about how this is going to bring more people into doing it.
Yes.
The idea is that it's more accessible.
Absolutely. There are some people out there that have done loads of engineering, and for them, this is kind of like teaching them how to suck eggs. They've already got ships that have got stacks of really cool modules, and we'll talk about how that interacts with the new system. But I think if you look at this from the perspective of someone coming in new, hopefully now it should be a hell of a lot cleaner and clearer and legible as to what you're going to do. And you're always going to make progress. Yeah, you can't jump straight to a grade 5 module anymore, but it's not going to take that long to do it. And as a new player, it's going to be, I'm just getting better, my ship's getting better. There's another point as well. So, right, you've now got Smart Rounds on this. You might as well do a couple, do another generator. Yeah, absolutely. Just keep upgrading it. It will show. So on second roll, it's like 3/4 of the way through.
Another one?
Yeah, why not?
Just under.
And one more.
Oh, that was tiny.
Wow, and that was a tiny one. So let's do the last one,
Oh, gosh.
which is perfect. Boom.
Is it? It did open it up.
Oh, it has opened it up, yeah. So now you can see, we basically, in fact, that last one, we probably could have moved on before we even did it.
Right, I didn't see that. Okay, sorry.
But that's fine.
My bad.
So it doesn't take as much. It doesn't take as many rolls. But let's talk about the way that the current modules interact.
Right.
So if you've got a module that is already engineered, we're not going to take it away from you. Okay, it's one thing. You put a lot of effort into that, an awful lot of effort, especially with the way some of the amount of chance that could get in there. So we simply don't want to get rid of that. So you keep them, right? So we're introducing a grandfathering system, which you've probably heard that word come up quite a lot. So what this means is that you get to keep your module. If you want to upgrade it, if it's not a max level module, you can, but you have to convert it. And when you convert it, it will drop down a grade, go to the top of the previous grade, and then you can carry on going, and you'll get the new roles. So how does this actually really work in terms of the benefits of the old modules versus the new modules? Because the systems are different at some level, right? So there was slightly more variation in the previous system. So contextually, with some corner case choices, you will have a module that you could argue that's pretty cool, and in certain circumstances better than what you could get in the new system if it's at grade 5. If you've got effectively that god roll, if you put a lot of resources, we're extremely lucky. But you get to keep that. That's fine. However, overall, when we look at the numbers, the new module system, the new upgrades, are fundamentally going to end up with better results for two reasons. One, if you keep engineering, you will get to the top. Right? There's no randomness to it anymore in that sense. It might take a few more rolls, a few less, but in pretty short order, you have the best the module can be, and then the variation will come through what experimental effect you stick onto it. And secondly, the buffs that we've given to the new upgrades are, in general, they take into account the secondary effects that you could get from the old buckets. Mm-hmm. So they're, generally speaking, just a bit better. Mm-hmm. So overall, because we want people to engineer, we want them to use the new one.
Yeah, it's interesting. I'm seeing, we are reading the chat, and we have the whole entire community team reading the chat as well. There's a lot of very, very interestingly, literally sort of maybe even 50 people with people sort of discussing, some saying no, some saying yes.
Yeah.
It's interesting. I want to reiterate something that you said in a previous stream about long-term health of the game. game, and how this will be beneficial for that. I also want to say, for those who don't know what this is, and maybe there are some people who are turning up that recently picked it up that have never engaged with engineering before. Engineering is a way to create experimental effects onto your weapons, but also to improve those weapons by engaging in a system in our game called engineering.
Yes.
This is nothing that we've added to the game. This was here before. We're just improving on it. Yeah. This isn't, in my opinion, adding a grind, as I've seen a couple of people saying in the chat, and I just wanted to get your opinion on that.
I think it's not. In general, it will come out. It will come out quicker for people that have already got really high level modules. They're already rank 5. If you're rank 5 and you've got then each module might look like it takes a little bit longer to get up to grade 5 because you have to work through the previous grades. But going up a grade can take anywhere from between 3 to 4 rolls, 2 to 5 rolls maybe. Okay, 2 to 5 crafts. Getting to the top end of a module in the current system, you just do that 5 times. The last grade 5 takes a few more rolls. If you compare that to the random chance that was in the old system, there are stories of people doing hundreds, nearly thousands of rolls. It's nothing like that. It's simply nothing like that. So taken in the round, the system is significantly faster and more elegant. In fact, the only interesting potential downside would be there's slightly less variation for that. There's always a cost, right? Because we've just got numbers that are pushing you up. And hopefully everyone that does it is going to get a much better quality of modules across the board in faster time. And we do have some other things that we'll be going on to actually later in the stream that will help that. So, but I understand, right? There's I take on board. Every opinion is completely valid. Change is always a bit frightening. And your opinions everyone's opinion is valid if it's constructive. Yeah, it's well presented. So
including ours as the developers of the game.
Well, we have to make the call then, right?
And well, I just want to say that it is in no way is it spin. We're just relating the facts.
Oh yeah, no, I mean this we genuinely think this is actually going to be a real big improvement for the long-term health of the game. Yeah. It's going to give, especially newer players, it's going to give them a very understandable system that they can work through and see the progress they're getting.
But as I said, there's lots of people still saying love it. So we should. I don't mean to focus on the sort of people being critical. Sure, but I think it's
everyone's opinion is valid. So
thank you for that.
So that and the good thing is that's kind of it, right? That's the in a nutshell what the new changes are. I mean, obviously we've run out now. We can't do any grade 2 crafting. We've got a conductive component, but we haven't got any nickel, so we probably want to go and see if we can get hold of some more resources. And then there'll be a few more new things on the way.
A few things that we can show off and just have a nice little time playing the game. All right, let's do it. So let's head to, because of course we've got other things that we're going to be covering throughout the stream, so do stick around for things such as, well, we're going to go through, obviously, I won't spoil it from now on, we'll keep the flow going.
Yeah, I did notice that I'm sorry, I missed the name, someone said, can we still get god rolls? Technically, yeah, you can still get incredibly powerful rolls that will push you right round a grade's progression bar. So it really can be quite startlingly fast.
Okay, so Sandy, where are we heading?
So why don't we go to Wolf 363 because I've been told that there is gold in them there hills.
There's gold in them there. Okay,
let's go there.
Let's have a look in here and see. Just do a couple of things behind the scenes very quickly. We're heading there.
Yeah, that's right. Let's go there. Let's go to the big purple planet.
Okay, here we go. The big purple planet.
Yeah.
Right, let's head there now. Right.
So again, just to reiterate on modules that aren't weapons, because there's no secondary effects, there will be there's no random secondary effects. You'll be able to purchase experimental effects, which give you a variety of choices that you can make. And again, the numbers. So the amount of times and the amount of numbers it takes to do a roll, the benefits you get. These could change in beta. We got to get it out there for you guys to play with. So this is just the principle of it.
Also note we're on a planet surface here.
So will they beat the current god rolls? In most cases, yes. Like I say, we want everyone to use engineering, and that includes people who've already done some engineering. So in most cases, in the round, the results you can get with the new system will be fundamentally better than the old system. There just could be some corner case modules because we can't. There is a vast amount of permutations in the old system that the new system doesn't have quite the same breadth. So there could be some items that you don't want, that you want to grandfather and keep and don't want to change over.
You know,
but in general, that's not going to be the case by a long shot.
I might have forgotten to pin that recipe. So you keep answering some questions from the chat.
You want to go and pin it. So
I'm just going to quickly.
Whilst Ed is going back to pin the recipe, because that's quite important, something else that's probably worth noting, just as a minor little benefit, is that material storage is changing in this update. No longer we have one big inventory that all the materials have to go in, and you then have to juggle to vent ones that you don't want. Every material will have its own per material storage cap. So I think they're set to around 100 at the moment. Might go up a little bit, possibly might go down, but I very much doubt it. So that's hopefully going to make it just a lot less faff in terms of getting the materials that you want. They're not going to be, you don't have to kind of pick either or. So that's a pretty nice thing as well. Just a little thing. There's a couple of things like that we're doing. So Ed's finally pinned his recipe, and he's back on the go. Too small, says 100, says someone. It might be. We want to see what people make of it, basically. Let's see if there's any questions actually as well. That's too much going through. Can you reject? Oh, sorry, I missed that one.
That's okay. It's moving very quickly, of course, so please do.
Yeah, it is moving very, very quick. 500 storage and instant ship transfer. Not going to do that. Okay. But good try. I like your spirit. It's got a lot of chutzpah.
We're going to Wolf 363, correct?
Yeah, Wolf 363. Let's go to and see if we can do a bit of mining. So, although we're focusing mainly on engineering, there's some crossover with resource gathering, which includes mining. So something I just want to point out and show, which could be pretty cool.
Yeah.
Will there be no engineers for Thargoid weapons? Well, nothing to say at the moment. Nothing to say at the moment. Can you stack experimental effects? No. You always pick one. You can change it at any time if you've got the resource cost. The reason for that is actually, in general, when everyone starts getting to the top of engineering a particular module, there won't be quite as much disparity. You know, it won't be that someone says, "Well, I got a god roll and I got max in one roll." A stack of the people saying, "I've rolled 500 times and I've got a mediocre roll." It's very much a case of all of the modules you'll just kind of pound them up to maximum, or well, literally you can pound them to maximum, and then you've got these nice little choices that the experimental effects can give you that differentiate the modules based on the playstyle that you want to use with them.
Okay, heading there now. Finally, towards our mining destination.
Yeah.
And please remember as well that we're talking tonight about the Beyond season. This is chapter 1. We're talking about there's lots more coming in the preceding chapters as well.
Yes.
Preceding, is that the correct word?
Following. I don't know.
Preceding, following.
It's late.
It's honestly, it's very
It's
late.
very late.
It's been a. You could argue a long day, couldn't you, Sam?
Yes. It is a long day.
Long week.
We're working hard.
And it's Tuesday.
We're working hard. Right. So here he comes.
Lots of questions as well.
They're just going very, very quickly. And I can't see them. Although someone says, "I love your dedication, Sandra."
So do I.
It's all a facade.
No, it's not. Don't
really.
say that.
But it is. It's not.
Stop having fun.
Okay, I can't have. I'm rubbish. Will XP effect remain on next roll? I'm not sure what you mean by that. I mean, every time you do a craft, you get experience from for the engineer as well. And because each craft is always getting better, you're always building up towards the next upgrade. Like so, you can't go backwards or stand still. That was a weird one. I don't know what I'm not going to say. That was odd. Will ship prices be reduced for beta? It's quite possible that a lot of things will be reduced for beta, so we can get you in there and playing. So there'll be more details on that soon, hopefully.
Soon.
Chuck Norris to be an engineer? I would kill for Chuck Norris to be an engineer. But then Chuck Norris would see me as a bad guy and roundhouse kick the world just to kill me. So I can't do that, unfortunately. Can you pin experimental effects? No, you can't. And there's a really good one, actually, but no, you can't. But that's something we could maybe look at in the future. Not really anything to add about passenger missions. There has been a change. that they will be getting back to some sort of normality in the future. They will be being adjusted, so don't panic too much about that.
Okay.
And news about the crate, it's awesome. I've seen it. It rocks. I really like it. And again, so does the Chieftain. Will module storage be increased too? Not at the moment, but it's maybe at some point. I don't know. Can you remove experimental effects? Yes, you can. You can. If you've got the resources, you can, jump between them as long as you're at an engineer's base as much as you want.
Them in outfitting, but also
you can remove the whole upgrade in outfitting, but you can. I believe you can just literally remove a special effect, an experimental effect at any time, just in the menu in the interface. Boom. Oh yeah, fighter and SIV for engineering. Not yet. Nothing to announce yet. That is an interesting concept. We're not doing it at the moment, but it would be pretty cool.
Sandy, I've arrived.
If you have long range and you... Oh, right. If you have long range... Sorry, can I get... No.
It's okay.
I think someone was saying if you've got long range and you want to put overcharged or something else on it, you can at any point swap the blueprint that you're using, but you will go back down to the base level of the new blueprint, the base grade. Effectively, you do lose all of the progress you made, so... It's a kind of throw up as to whether you want to do that or maybe just get a different module and put it on that instead.
So Sandy, we're here looking for some
so
resources that we were talking about.
Why don't you start shooting, get some and look at some resources.
I can do that.
Shoot. See what turns up.
Spraying.
Yeah, look at that. He's mining it all up.
Okay.
Well, see what's floating around in the contact panel.
Panel.
So, there's a material. Why don't you target iron? So, this is a nice little thing. Like that target, have a look at it in the world. So, it's undiscovered. So, interestingly, materials now in the target panel, it will tell you if you've discovered them or not. It will show you the quality of them with the little icon that goes there. And also, once you start collecting them, it will show you how many you've got in your cargo hold, in your inventory. So again, it's just a nice little thing, so you don't have to kind of faff around. How many have I got? Do I need? How many more do I need? Not only that, but again, and this is maybe more for miners than engineers, but there's a load of resource chunks out there. You might have noticed in that when you was looking at the material, if you wanted to select one of those.
I don't want Bertrandite, I'm sick of it.
Well, now you can have an ignore list, and this is quite fun and quite useful. So you can add it to an ignore list. There's a little icon to the side which will show you if everything's ignored or if a partial amount of resources are ignored in a target. If you want to ignore one of them completely, you also see it nicely sorts them to the bottom of the list when they're fully ignored. What does ignored means? It means it'll auto-vent if you put it into your refinery, try and refine it. It also means that your collector limpets won't go after it unless you specifically target them and force them to do it. Hopefully it's going to be quite nice for those miners.
I think so.
It's one of those things. It's nice quality of life improvement. We think.
So you can see that stays at the top.
Exactly. It just makes things a lot more controllable. So.
And then I can. There you go.
Yeah, and you can obviously undo them as well and get them back. So that's hopefully nice little thing for mining. Obviously, there will be more to come from mining in the Beyond Series updates. In the big update at the end of the year, I think it's going to get a lot more. But it's just a little kind of line in the sand to start.
Yeah. Okay. Well, any more questions for Sandy? Well, I just one little quick thing here.
Yeah,
as well.
bit more mystery. Yes. So venting should be a lot easier. Basically, mining should be. You should be able to make money quicker, right? Which is what everyone wants, right? It's not about the credits. Of course, it's about the credits. We love the credits, right? So. That's good.
Is that the correct thing I'm using?
Yeah.
Is that right?
It is. No, it's not. Spawn.
Oh, okay. Well, that's fine anyway, right?
No. You want to...
Okay.
Actually, yeah, I want to see this. So, hot build time. We're going to test something out live in the stream. It's interesting, isn't it? Yeah, spawn. Yeah.
Yeah?
No.
Sorry, it's my bad.
Micro, is it?
Is it? Really? Okay. Oh, yeah. And then, yeah.
He's got it.
Didn't work.
It didn't, no.
Oh, we've got it anyway. We've got the thing that we need, right?
Okay, yeah.
That's weird. Checking the things we've got. This is playing with a live build. Like I said, please do.
So, what Ed has done, using the power of voodoo, is give himself a bit of nickel.
Have I?
Let's have a look.
The one.
Yeah, you have.
Yeah.
You might as well give yourself a couple more. Why not? Feeling generous?
I am. So, just give me 1 second while we do that. Thank you.
I'm not sure why that one didn't work though.
No, that's.
Can you go back any further? look for that spore and.
So how many do I need there?
Yeah, whatever.
Okay.
So we're going to give ourselves some nickel.
We aren't on screen, so it's okay.
Possibly a pocket watch. I think you find it's definitely a pocket watch.
All right.
And
so
it tells the time as well.
Sandy, where are we?
I just can't
now?
tell it. Unfortunately, I can't read it. So why don't we go to where is it? Person station, right? Person station, right? So we've got some nickel that Ed has mined with magic. Although, as far as I'm aware, in a metallic-rich asteroid cluster, you can get nickel. I've seen it happen.
We could have got it there.
Yeah.
We did it. We didn't.
So we're going to go to a starport that's got outfitting in it and a shipyard. It's quite important. Now, was anyone paying attention? Did they ever see that the Grade 2 overcharge blueprint needed some conductive compounds, of which you had one? Now, we've got a stack more nickel, but we've only got one conductive compound, so if we want to craft more, we need to get some conductive compounds. But they might be a little bit difficult to get hold of. But there's something else that we're adding to the game, so here he comes. Is he going to go for the leap of shame?
No, absolutely not.
So one of the to go alongside engineering, again, to keep it slick, to keep it legible, to keep people moving and always progressing, we've got these new contacts, and they're called material traders. They're kind of liberally scattered around the galaxy. Now, in human space, now for them to appear, it's based on some statistics to do with the system they're in. So, population size, what kind of if it's an industrial system. There's more than one type of material trader, and they have slightly different criteria for when they appear, but they're quite easy to find. And importantly, once Ed's docked, we can show you there's a nice little feature that's going to help as well.
Absolutely.
But let's see this perfect docking first of all.
Hold on. Don't say that sort of thing, Sandy.
I know. Oh, right, everyone always says, they can't fly. It's really hard to do it on the live stream when you're talking and trying to not make a fool of yourself.
Very tricky.
That's why I just go for the look to make a fool of myself straight away, because then I don't have to worry about it anymore, right? And I get other people that are better than me to play the game.
I was doing this.
And yes, I am Willy Wonka. Just thought I'd put that out there. You know, like that guy says, I am Iron Man. I am Willy Wonka.
Who says I am Iron Man? That guy.
You know, Downey Jr.
Robert Downey Jr. says I am Iron Man.
Yeah, he's Iron Man. Yeah, no pressure, Ed. That's fine.
Just taking it easy.
He's just coming in. Look at this. That's beautiful. It's a thing of beauty.
Thanks, Sandy. Thanks for
Boom.
I nudged the front end. I'm not used to the chieftain.
So whilst you're here, do you want to go into the galaxy map?
I will.
Yeah. And you may have seen in earlier streams, we've got new filters. These cool filters. Where are they?
Sorry, it's my bad.
Map filters, and you'll see that one of them is services, and in the services we've got material traders. There are three types of material trader: manufacturing, encoding, and I think raw. And what they're going to allow you to do is they're going to allow you to transfer, convert materials of one type into another at some loss. So you can't just transfer one to one. But it's for those materials you really just can't get hold of, and you've got loads of others. Sometimes there's going to be a case where you can go, no, let's swap them over. This is going to be pretty useful. Again, this is all going to play into this. Oh no, it's still going to take forever to do engineering. Engineering is meant to be an ongoing process. This is again, this is a really important point to mention, and I feel quite strongly about it. Engineering is not meant to be there to press a button and I've got a ship that's as good as it can ever be because I've played the game for a long time. It's meant to be a progress. It's meant to be your narrative, your journey through making your ship better. It's not meant to happen all at once. But at the same time, we do value your time, so we want to give you these kind of extra additional facilities to kind of smooth the way. So why don't we go to the contacts list?
I'm in there already.
Material trader, there he is. Bush! Whoa! Ouch. Steady on. What is this? So it's a material trader screen. It's awesome. So this is a manufactured material trader, and you'll see that there are a stack of materials that he looks after. They're in columns and rows, so each row is a particular type of material, and you've got the different quality levels, like from 1 to 5. So chemical, we've got chemical storage units, chemical processors, distillery, manipulators, and pharmaceutical isolators. And then, so that's the rows and then the columns. So we were after compound, compound conductors?
Please do remember as well, of course, this is in beta and subject to change if anything, any of the material numbers and things like that.
Yes.
However, if any of the UI things like the name is too long and stuff, but you know,
Yeah, that'll be an ongoing thing.
But want to say, look at the bottom, select the material you're looking for.
Well, I'm looking for.
Which one are we looking for?
Conductive compounds.
Conductive
there it is.
Compounds.
So you can see they've already got one.
Oh.
Which is good. We get one roll, but we wanted more because we've just got a load more nickel. So when you highlight over it, you can already see some interesting things to the side of it. To the left, you've got basic conductors, the grade 1 version, and when
you can see what it converts to.
Yeah, you can see that there are some numbers. So when the item is to the left of it, you've got the two little numbers. You don't even need to hover it on the conductive components. You've got 6 and 1, so you've got the 6 with the arrow going towards it. That means it will cost 6 basic conductors to get one conductive component. And then if I look the other way at conductive components, if it goes left, you're always gaining more. So I will get 3 basic conductors for each conductive component that I transmit. So you can work down and up. You know, you do get more of cheap things for spending expensive things, but there's always a loss. There's always a loss involved, so you will always run out. So it's very easy. You can take a try. You just select the one you want. Select the one you want to convert from it.
I knew which one. I'm just showing how it displays it.
And that's it. Yes.
So you can see how that's working. And then
it's just teasing.
And
then you can move up. You can do a bunch of them.
How many should I have?
I'd say 3.
3.
Yeah, it looks good. Confirm trade, and there it is. You've got 3 conductive components. This is going to be fairly massive, we suspect. The numbers might change. It might get better. It might get harsher. It might get easier. We're going to need to see how this works out in the beta, and possibly even going forward. But material traders, we think, are a pretty cool thing. And again, we've tried to put context into this in that you can't trade any material for any other material. You have to go to the right. You have to get them within the right kind of section. So manufactured materials can only be converted into other manufactured materials, because we don't want to get rid of the concept of going out there and getting the materials. Right? This is to get rid of those blockages. When you're stuck and you really need something, there's a good chance that you'll have some other materials that you can transfer for it. So it's pretty cool, I think. As Willy Wonka. I'm laying down the law.
As Willy Wonka.
That's pretty cool.
I don't know anymore. No, obviously I don't know anymore about you. I know that this looks cool. Yeah, I'm just talking about you. I don't know about your sanity.
Right. Oh yeah, and data materials trader. Yeah, I believe there is a data materials trader as well, encoded data. So all materials, all the standard materials, you can find a trader for.
Pretty cool.
And data storage, it's the same as physical storage. It's 100 per material.
Yeah.
In fact, if you can go to your ship inventory, you can probably look at that right now, right?
Probably now. Off script.
Well, go to data as well on the left hand side. There, 100 of each. Boom.
This is now recording, of course.
So can you get lower tier materials for high ones? Yeah. So if you've got a higher level material, the one to the left of it, transferring it down, you get 3 for every one you convert. So you're still getting more than 1. It's just that it's always 6 to go up. Oh yeah, right. So now we've got enough now, right, to do more engineering, I think. But we're not at the engineer. It's going to take too long.
No.
Wrong.
What are we going to do?
It's not, because now anywhere there's outfitting, you can do remote engineering. There's a remote workshop. Now you've got to look at these guys as they're not engineers. They're just following the instructions that the engineers left them. So a couple of things to know. You can only do it to pinned blueprints. Mm-hmm. Okay. You can't generate experimental effects. You'll still have to go back for them. And you won't get any engineer reputation because you're not using the engineer. But it just means that, again, we're trying to make it a little bit slicker, a little bit easier to just boom, 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 get some more engineering done.
Just get more people engaging.
And look at that, you have got enough. You can just boom, boom, boom. Let's do it.
Should I do it? Okay.
Yeah. Whee, there it goes. I want some more.
You want some more?
Yeah, I want more.
Actually, that's it. You look a little like Fagin. More? More?
Fagin.
He doesn't say that.
He doesn't do that at all.
Oliver.
He's like,
reminded me of more. Anyway, Fagin.
I want more. Right, I'm feeling lucky. Oh, yeah, that was a good one.
Well, it always is.
Yeah.
Let's be honest.
So there it is. That's engineering, right?
It wasn't so good.
In a nutshell. And again, yeah, the numbers, take them with a pinch of salt. Let's get them in balance. Get them in a bit of testing, get them tested. But hopefully you can see what we're trying to do here, right? With engineering, we're trying to make it this nice progression that you're always working towards.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Woo!
Well, there you go, Sandy. And I want to say well done for you there.
Thanks, Sean.
Doing a wonderful quick fire demonstration, as it will. These things are very complicated. Elite Dangerous, as we know it, is a very complicated game.
It's a complicated beast.
Sometimes quite difficult to convey. And I think that you and Steve and Adam Birkwaite have
my
done
team
all
are awesome.
Fabulously.
My team are awesome. I stand on the shoulders of giants.
Lovely developers. Tick it again.
Yeah, lovely developers.
Lovely developers.
Yeah, boy,
that's a cool thing, though, isn't it?
Everything.
Everybody, thank you. You're all very lovely. Oh, that's right. Of course, we aren't finished. But first of all, I want to make some changes.
Oh, someone's saying, will we save our current reputation with engineers with the new system? I hope so. I'm not going to put that in stone, but I think the idea is yes, you will. So you shouldn't lose anything there. So the point of engineering reputation now, it's just to progress smoothly through engineers. It's to stop you just going, well, I just go to grade 5, boom, straight away. Okay, you still work through it, but once you hit the top, you've hit the top. So you've got it all, and it's all fine.
You can pass me the controller really quickly.
Oh, okay. He's doing something.
I'm doing many.
He's multitasking. So I heard that people wanted to get close up, didn't they?
Oh, what do you mean?
They wanted to get it's this planet thing. Right? People wanted to see some pretty planet stuff.
Did they? Well, we can have a look and see what we can do.
See what we can find.
We'll head towards a nice looking planet and spend some time looking at it again. We took off from a planet earlier, and you did get to see that as well.
Yeah.
Here we go, sorry. Why are you not letting me do nothing? Answer some questions from while I saw this.
Okie dokes, so let's see. Yeah, so some sort of not limitation of one pinned recipe. I don't want to make any promises. It's possible we might change that number, but I don't know for sure. I certainly want to put anything on the team and say, oh, we're doing this when it might not be feasible anytime soon. We want to keep an eye on it though. So the number of pinned recipes, the number of crafts it needs to upgrade. There are some things that we can look at. What we really need though now is we need some testing on a grand scale, right? For engineering, that's what we really need, because there's no way we can get all that testing in house. We just need more stuff. Most AOL says, I want your hat. No, it's my hat. But they're not that expensive. It's not a very good one. While we're nerfing everything, well, I don't think we are. It's just the bottom line.
Yeah, I don't think we are.
No, I mean, at the end of this, your ships in general are going to be better than they were before.
I've decided.
I mean, for the vast majority of people, your ships will be more powerful because we've upped the numbers. So I don't really think that's the case, actually. And it's easy to get materials, and you can store kind of more materials of particular types. So, yeah. But feedback's always welcome, and especially once the beta goes. Get it in there. And if you see something you don't like, don't be afraid to tell us. I know you're not afraid to tell us, but just to reiterate, don't be afraid. Get in the forums. Tell us. We do love reading all that stuff. We do take it all on board, and we will see what If there's some things that we've missed that you catch, then great. And we're not too proud to say, hey, yeah, we didn't see that. We can make it better.
So Sandy, I've decided to switch ships for this final demonstration.
Okay.
As you can see here, we've actually switched to.
That looks like
well, it's one of my faves.
Keelback.
The Keelback, and because we're going to be demoing the Gala Audio, I thought it would be useful for us to. Turn up the volume, so it'll be nice and loud, so we might seem a little quiet.
Oh yeah, Garnet Audio.
And, well, first of all, I just want to have a quick look at that. Hey. Who's that? It's you, in the back.
I've changed gender.
Of my Keelback.
Which I'm totally down with, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's all good. It's all good.
Yeah. Very cool. Anyway, I wonder if that means anything for anyone at all. 2 seats! There you go, finally, good. All right. All right, so I'm going to... you know of a nice location, is that correct?
Yeah. A little birdie told me that there's this place called Pomesh.
Oh, Pomesh.
It's called Pomesh, yeah.
Well,
apparently the view's okay.
Apparently the view's okay. Any particular...
Someone said, what happens to grade 5 modules when you try and upgrade them? If they're grade 5... You upgrade them, they drop to the top of grade 4 and then be converted into using the new stats. Okay, that's how that works. So again, if you've got modules that have got god rolls at grade 5, it's interesting. You might want to keep them. Depends how good you think they are.
Okay, so I'm going to do the usual. Oh, my landing gear's down. So
Landing gear
Yeah.
attracted. Frameshift drive charging.
He's going. He's
we're just jumping to the next system now.
You are clear to resume home navigation.
4, 3, 2, 1.
I like that. What?
Yeah, very good. So as the chat has
Can't explain
maybe heard there, as the chat may have heard there, yes, we do indeed. Yeah, you heard somebody else there, and that person is called Victor.
Victor.
So
Nice to meet you, Victor. Nice to make your acquaintance.
So we have Kovas Customization, is what we're calling it. It's a new addition to Elite Dangerous, and the first of these that you'll be able to change is to Victor, who is a new voice. You can of course still have Verity, who is
Verity will go away. We love Verity.
You can even switch between them with your ships. You could have your SRV or your ship launch fighter as Victor or Verity, and then have your other ones. So you can have like
it's a
different
big party.
sounding names.
I love it.
So that's going to be in the beta as well. It's worth saying that we are working with HCS guys, the guys who did the voice attack things.
Awesome guys.
To bring new packs in the future as well. These voices are supposed to sort of bring the new flavour and stuff, but yeah, it's pretty cool.
It is pretty cool, isn't it?
Yeah,
Sometimes little things like that.
I feel like I am almost. I feel contractually obliged to say that at the current time we won't be bringing the celebrity voices in. I wanted to say that as just to set people's expectations.
Yes.
As well. But there you go. New voices for your ship. Kind of cool.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's a little cool little thing. But of course, we're not here to talk about that specifically. Why don't, as I approach the next space, well, I'll do the final jump first of all, and I won't crash into that star. That would be very.
And whilst you're doing that as well, it's worth pointing out another tiny little thing that's quite cute though is that in the audio options, I believe you'll be able to set your call sign for traffic control.
Very cool.
To use the letters from either your ship name, commander name, or ship ID. Which is pretty cool. There's audio guys. It's cute.
They do some stuff down there.
We like.
Yeah. All right. And let's listen to Victor one more time.
Frameshift drive charging.
Victor will be available on console, of course, yes. Just some of the changes that we're showing off today.
Yeah.
Coming in.
I see. Actually, a number of people are going. So what's going to happen to my grade 5 modules? Are they going to get worse if I go to the new system? So really depends on how much you've engineered them. If you've got god rolled grade 5, you might want to consider, depending on what it's doing, you might want to consider keeping it, and that's totally fine. If you're anywhere below 75% of the max potential, there's a very good chance, in fact, it's almost a certainty that it's going to be better converting it, right? Because we've inflated the numbers a little bit.
Okay, so Sandy.
Yeah.
What was the planet we're going to visit?
Was it 1A?
1A.
1A.
Let's just lock
I think.
onto it and head towards that way.
Yeah.
The Keelback is one of the slower ships, though, so it is going to take me a while to get there. Well, perhaps we could, I don't know, have a listen to Galnet.
Oh yeah, Galnet News, this little thing that's coming in, eh?
Should I just play it?
Just do it.
Simbad regime campaign concludes. A spokesperson for the Simbad regime has announced that its appeal for construction materials has been enthusiastically received by the galactic community, resulting in a massive influx of deliveries to Parmitano Terminal, the organization's base of operations. The spokesperson went on to say the Simbad regime would like to thank all the commanders that supported this project
start it straight away.
And to invite the galactic community to visit our new base once it is complete. Pilots who contributed to the initiative can now collect their rewards from Parmitano Terminal in the new Tauri system.
Options, I believe.
Eliminating slavers in Gagaini. Princess Aisling Duval has announced plans to fund a peacekeeping operation in the Gagaini system. The operation's primary purpose is to neutralize an Simbad regime campaign. The Simbad regime was established over a year ago and has enjoyed consistent growth with the support of commanders. Simbad regime.
So basically I can click on certain things, I can add them to the queue. If I want certain ones to play in the queue, I can do that.
In campaign,
play the one
the Simbad regime was
and then they'll just play in a playlist as we go.
Sirius Incorporated campaign concludes. Sirius Incorporated has announced that its construction initiative has been enthusiastically received by the galactic community. Hundreds of pilots supported the campaign by delivering commodities to Green Enterprise in the Nargalia system and by eliminating agitators in Nargalia, thereby ensuring the safety of traders contributing to the initiative.
That makes
Sirius Incorporated has
fundamentally imbalanced. Well, you keep an eye on that. In the worst case scenario, if this, it looks like it really shouldn't happen, but in the worst case scenario, if there is some kind of crazy permutation that ends up being some uber path to least resistance, we just keep upping the new stuff until it was just better. We want to do it by degrees. Is all. That's all we're going to do there. So we're going to. This is again. We're going to keep an eye on this. We're going to make sure that we.
Just pausing
you can't hear me apparently.
Don't worry about it. It's just that we've had to.
Oh, sorry. I'm competing with Galnet. Galnet's better than me.
You can't hear what we can hear. Sorry about that, guys.
So yeah, so we are going to keep an eye on that. So can you put a new effect on an old module? No. If you convert the module wholesale, that's the grandfather system. You either keep it as it is and it works exactly as it does, or you convert it to the new system and then it goes through the new system.
Would you like to read a few facts about Galnet Audio?
A few facts about Galnet Audio in tiny little text. What the hell?
You can read it, don't worry.
So it's localised in all of the language we support for Elite Dangerous.
Well, funnily enough, I've got a video.
Boom.
That demonstrates
there's a video. Wow.
Just that.
Kampagne von Simbad Regime kommt zum Abschluss. Ein Sprecher der Fraktion Simbad Regime gab bekannt, dass der Appell zur Beschaffung von Baumaterialien in der galaktischen Gemeinschaft auf viel Zuspruch gestoßen ist und in der Folge große Mengen der gewünschten Waren an die Operationsbasis an Bord von Parmitano Terminal geliefert wurden. Der Sprecher sagte weiter, Simbad Regime möchte allen Kommandanten danken, die dieses Projekt unterstützt haben. Die galaktische Gemeinschaft ist herzlich eingeladen, die neue Basis zu besuchen, sobald sie fertiggestellt wurde. Piloten, die an dieser Initiative teilgenommen haben, können ihre Belohnungen ab sofort an Bord von Parmitano Terminal im System Nodauri entgegennehmen.
So there you go. Just a little bit of that there, and you did see a glimpse of the new planets there as well. But as you can see, I am flying right by. Oh, thank you, Victor. Thank you very much for that, Victor.
Oh, there's a giant crater. Oh, there are controller bindings which can be assigned for Galnet Audio functionality. Bish bash bosh. That's nice. Cool. Volume automatic pausing and automatic resuming are part of the options. Articles with audio will be updated on the fly, just as they are currently. So this can happen as an ongoing process now. There'll be no more patching needed for it. In Multicrew, you can have your own instances of what you're listening to, which is interesting and quite crazy. And you can listen in Supercruise and in Multicrew and in any ship and in a fighter and in an SRV. And if you use the bindings in hyperspace, wow! So basically, it's all there. It's all there for you.
And yeah, exactly. Let's listen to a little bit more of it. Just on pause.
Delivering commodities to Green Enterprise in the Nargalia system, and by eliminating agitators in Nargalia, thereby ensuring the safety of traders contributing to the initiative. Sirius Incorporated has extended its gratitude to those who supported the campaign. Pilots who contributed to the initiative can now collect their rewards from Green Enterprise in the Nargalia system. Further migration to Colonia. Although the Thargoid attacks have so far been confined to the Pleiades nebula.
You can see the colour, the differences there. On the left you've got sort of the yellows, and in the distance there you've got even sort of brighter orange.
Yeah, there's some mountain ranges that got some strong oranges.
Some strong sort of almost greens. Here
volcanism apparently, or something like that.
Of course, the keelback is incredibly slow.
gear.
So it's because I've got but yeah, does it keep playing if you jump? Yes, it does. But I just really quickly wanted to show this off in situ, so you guys could see the changes, although not like the dramatic changes, not like the sort of larger changes that will be coming in later parts of Beyond
yes.
the planets.
Yeah.
This one's much more of a sort of changes to some of the colours and things like that.
Yeah, you've got some.
Very
It's just more vivid, basically. The artists they're just doing an amazing job. So,
not bad. Yeah. Again, one more time. Come on, Des. Find that train. I chose to land at the
It was a bumpy bit,
possibly
right?
the worst part you could possibly land at. But there you go. We don't need to show. We can just leave it there, and you guys can see there's differences there, and you can see the subtle changes. On the other side as well, there were some oranges and things like that as well. But guys, you are going to be seeing it in yourselves very soon on Thursday, in fact. For the PC players and Mac players, and then of course it's not that long before it comes out for real to all owners, including PS4 players,
yes.
Xbox One players. So I want to say another time I want to perhaps, sorry, do forgive me for that, making these loud noises with my paper.
We like these rustling noises, right? It's good.
Everyone loves those on the camera. Changes to Crime and Punishment.
Yes.
Changes to engineers.
Yes.
Significant improvements to the long-term health of the game, which I think is wonderful. The Chieftain, planetary visual improvements, trade data improvements, the Tech Broker,
Material Trader,
the Material Trader, Galnet Audio, and the interactable megaships.
Yes.
And then all the sort of smaller things, ignore lists.
Per
There's lots going into...
per material storage,
yeah, the Chapter 1 update. There's a lot going on.
And there's a few other bits as well.
Tech Broker. And a few other bits as well.
Yeah.
Okay, so...
Wow.
And that's kind of Chapter 1 of Beyond in a 3-part nutshell.
That's an impressive tri-shell.
Trifecta.
Yeah.
So I want to say a huge thank you to everybody who's come along. In a couple of minutes, we are going to do a giveaway, actually, so do stick around, because I want to say thank you to all the 5,500 people plus who've been watching us
Thanks for tuning
tonight. Tonight's live stream, it has to be said, Sandy and the developers have put a lot of work into getting this build ready and together for us to be able to showcase tonight before Thursday's release. So a huge thank you to those guys and to everybody who's put together those videos as well. While we just get ready, I do have one more video to play. It's again demonstrating Galnet Audio, but this time in, well, Russian.
Кампания Симбат Режим завершена. По словам представителя Симбат Режим, компания по поставке строительных материалов была с энтузиазмом воспринята Галактическим Содружеством. Результатом этого стало резкое увеличение количества поставок на Парметанол терминал, основную базу организации. Представитель также заметил, Симбат Режим хотела бы выразить благодарность всем командирам, поддержавшим проект постройки новой базы. Как только ее строительство завершится, мы будем рады пригласить всех вас, чтобы вы смогли оценить результаты наших совместных трудов. Пилоты, поддержавшие инициативу, могут забрать свои награды на станции Парметанол терминал в системе Ньютури.
So there you go. Again, some brilliant work again from the developers. This build has been a hot build, so it's been particularly interesting to demo this one today, wouldn't you say? Hot build. But thank you all so much for your patience in some places. But I think
thank you for your support.
And thank you so much for your support. Continued as well. Like I said, do stick around for a giveaway in just a second. But I want to say another thank you for everyone in the community as well. Sandy will be bringing back the Beyond focused feedback forums.
Yes,
for future subjects that are going to be going into Elite Dangerous Beyond. Asking for feedback and taking it on board.
Yes.
These aspects of Crime and Punishment and engineers used the feedback that has come through from the community.
I mean,
even longer than that.
Absolutely.
For engineers,
the engineers forum feedback. There was a lack of posts from me. I did read it. Various unforeseen events stopped me from posting in it, which hopefully won't happen in the next ones that go out. Because that's just a little bit unfortunate. But this is incredibly useful. Please give us your feedback, good and bad. I mean, it's how we make the game better, right? We talk about it, we investigate it. We keep going with it.
Yep, we'll also be bringing back the Focus Feedback live streams as well, talking about that feedback that we're receiving. We'll be doing the beta feedback streams as well. As we're playing, as the beta goes on and the weeks go on through the beta, I'll be bringing the developers on to talk about what we've seen in the beta and what we've seen in the community activity throughout the beta, and we'll be discussing it with you guys and say what sort of changes and tweaks we are making and playing through the games. I'm sure there'll be lots of activity.
That's what beta's for.
Too. Absolutely. Genuinely, it is what beta is for, is to make this game the best it possibly can be. So thank you everybody for playing and taking part in the beta as well. Also, just a little bit of housekeeping. We'll be doing also the Discovery Scanner series as well. We're bringing that back, where we talk a little bit about sort of behind the scenes about how Elite Dangerous is made. And of course, you can always find us and ask us questions. Just either direct them to the @Elite Dangerous Twitter account. You can ask us questions on Facebook. You can email community@frontier.co.uk. You can get in touch with us almost anywhere. Leave posts in the forums. We will we endeavour to get back to you. As you can see, there's 5,100 people watching now, and you guys are just some of the keen ones. You're the best ones, by the way. All the best ones are here.
Yeah, of course. Because that's what they're saying, right?
All the best ones, yeah, exactly. But can you imagine a small team of 4 or 5 of us being bombarded by messages? It does happen, but we do endeavour to reply to absolutely every single one. So, hashtag... Sandy, what do you want people to say in the chat to...
not hot build.
Don't say hot build. That's although that's happening now. So,
or maybe hot build.
Just say hashtag hot build. Fine.
Hot build with ghosts.
It's already happening.
Yes.
Okay.
Summoned.
All right. So cheers, guys. Thank you very much. This game is very important to us, very important to you, very important to the developers. So please do keep playing, keep supporting us, because it means a lot.
Yeah.
Yes. Great. So that's it.
That's a lot of hot builds.
That's kind of it. That's it now.
It's just... What are we giving away?
Oh boy. We're going to give away another HOTAS, a hands-on throttle and stick.
Wow. Whoa, what happened? The budget has gone up.
The budget has gone up.
Okay.
Not only, so you're going to win a HOTAS, but also, you're also going to win a paint job pack of your interest from the Community Event Prize Packs Forum.
Is this one that money can't buy or money can buy?
Money cannot buy this one.
Oh
currently.
My goodness.
Yeah,
so
absolutely. So you're going to win 2 things.
A HOTAS.
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 I mean, HOTAS.
HOTAS,
yes.
And paint jobs that money can't buy.
So once you've said it once, please do stop, because we will pick at random. Sandy, this is the first update in the Beyond season. And it's...
a big one.
Not the last.
No, it's not the last.
And did you say last time on the stream you said it's not the largest, though?
No, it's not the largest. Believe it or not, this is the small one.
Of the 2 big ones.
Of the 2 big ones, yeah. I mean, it's significant, but there's more to come.
We are going to keep you all up to date, ladies and gentlemen, with all of the changes that are coming and scheduled throughout the year and the things. If you want to remind yourself, do go back to youtube.com/Elite Dangerous, look in the video playlists for Frontier Expo, and you can see a reminder of what we actually talked about there. Things such as, I mean, I don't want to go into it right now because we're talking about Chapter 1.
Yeah.
But, I mean, squadrons and things like that. And are these going to be subjects of focus feedback?
Yes.
And stuff like that?
Yep, it's going to be really interesting.
You'll be able to give us your feedback as well about any opinions on that. I think it's fascinating stuff. All right, stop saying that now.
Yeah, there are literally more than 4.
There's more than 4. There's
more than 4.
Hashtag hot build. It's very strange taking my headphones off. Right, let's have a look here. I don't want to do too much. Ooh, I've lost my mouse. Sandy, where's he gone?
I don't know.
I might have to just get rid of this guy. Hopefully that doesn't break the stream. We'll find out. Is everybody still there? Are you still?
Are we still there? I think we're still there. I'm still here.
Well, thank God for that. Right, let's have a look here. Okay, picking a random number.
Yep.
Okay, and we have it.
Ooh, that's interesting.
Round number there.
Yeah.
That is Furious clicking. Riptop.
Riptop.
Hashtag Hot Build says Riptop. Thank
Well
you,
done,
Riptop.
Riptop.
Well done.
Congratulations, Riptop.
Please stop saying that now because it's finished now. Riptop, you have won yourself Hands on Throttle and Stick for a platform of your choice.
Nice.
You have won yourself a paint job prize pack that money can't buy. Woo! How exciting! So would you like to please send us a PM from your account to this YouTube account, telling us, first of all, the email address that you're going to be using to email us. Now, that sounds complicated. It's just so we can verify you. Email us at community@frontier.co.uk with, I won the HOTAS tonight. And then tell us your YouTube username. But also, in the YouTube one, in the YouTube PM, make sure you tell us the email address so that way we can verify you. It makes perfect sense. But well done, Riptop. Well done.
Well done. Congratulations.
Done. Riptop's a cool name as well. Riptop.
It's just awesome and macho.
Very macho.
Yeah,
thanks,
I like
everybody.
it.
And thanks for coming along in such enthusiastic numbers. It fills us with. It fills me with.
I love the fact that everyone's still so passionate.
People are so passionate. That's what I mean,
just awesome, right?
I was trying to get there. You got there.
I just like that, and you didn't have a chance. Woo! It was all over. But
One final thing as well. There'll be questions and answers. I think Will have been grabbing some questions throughout the chat here today, and also there's going to be some on the forums as well. We'll try and grab those and collate some Q&A threads as well under the initial post. And then also there's going to be an article that's going to go live very shortly as well that has a written version of what we just talked about. Hopefully like a sort of a shorter summary for you to digest. So thanks again for coming along. Thank you so much, Sandy, for doing this today.
It's always a pleasure.
Well, you'll be back, I'm sure, in the next few weeks.
Maybe.
It
might happen. It could happen. I'm not sure, but it could.
Yeah, okay. Well, thanks, everybody, and we'll see you next time. Bye.
Bye.